Welcome back to Producing Voiceovers in Pro Tools. This is our chapter on sync recording. In this chapter, we're going to demonstrate recording in sync to picture by doing a simple ADR session. We're going to do some dialogue looping. So to get started, I have a new session here called Sync. And the first thing we're going to do is import a QuickTime movie that we're going to do ADR for. So we'll hit our Import Video keyboard shortcut. Shift Command Option and I Mac, Shift Control Alt and I PC. And on my desktop here, I have this QuickTime movie that I shot for the purposes of demonstrating ADR. Okay, there's my import video dialog box. I'm going to spot this file to exactly 1 hour because that's where I want the video to start at. And we're going to import the audio from the file. Type in 1 hour. Click OK. And remember, it's going to ask me where to put the audio. I'll choose my default folder, Sync Audio Files. And if I zoom out, there it is. Okay, let's listen to this.
Good afternoon and welcome to the studio. Follow me, we'll go inside.
That's basically 2 lines, and we're going to replace that audio or loop those lines because they have a lot of background noise on them.
Good afternoon and welcome to the studio. Follow me, we'll go inside.
Okay, the next thing we're going to do is import our ADR beeps. The ADR beeps will be used to cue the talent. I'll click Import Audio, and I have some beeps stored on my desktop here. ADR beeps, and we can preview them. That's ADR beeps. And while we're importing these beeps, I'll tell you what ADR stands for. ADR stands for Automated Dialogue Replacement. And basically what that really means is replacing the dialogue of any on-camera actor, either live or animated. And sometimes additional voice recording is done at ADR sessions, such as background voices or walla. We'll copy them into our session. And we'll hit done. It's going to ask me where to put it. And we're going to select the option for new track here so that we have a new track named ADR beeps. And we can just spot them anywhere because we're going to be moving them around ourselves. And there are the beeps. What we're going to do is spot the end of this region to the beginning of where we want our actor to come in. And I'm also going to hide my video track, speed things up in the computer. So I'm going to zoom in and let's listen here. It's probably about there.
Good afternoon.
So good afternoon is our first line. I'm going to trim that. And then I'm going to spot the end of this ADR beeps region to where my selection is by hitting the keys for End Spot Region. Hold the Command and Control key Mac and click on the region, or hold the Control and Start key for PC and click on the region. That's Command and Control Mac or Control and Start PC. While holding those keys, you click on the region with the grabber tool. And if I give a listen to that.
Good afternoon and welcome to the studio.
So where the 4th beep would be, the actor knows to start her line there. I'm going to spot our next line too while I'm here. Here's probably where the next line is.
Follow me, we'll go inside.
So I'm going to spot the end of the ADR beeps to that location, and I'm going to copy it at the same time by adding the Option key Mac or the Alt key PC. So basically you hit all 3 keys to the left side of the space bar and click on the region. And it will copy and end spot the region to where my selection is. And I'm also going to mute that region for now so it doesn't confuse our actor by hitting Command M Mac or Control M PC. Mute region. So basically, our session here is set up for our ADR actor to loop the first line.
Good afternoon and welcome to the studio. Follow me.
I'm going to mute the next production line as well so that it doesn't get in the way when we're recording. So I'll separate the region And I'll hit Command M Mac or Control M PC to mute that region as well. So,
good afternoon and welcome to the studio.
So, when our actor gets here, we're going to record our first line. Let's name that track. I'll name this track ADR Demo. I'll arm the track. And our talent's microphone is patched into input 3 here, which is already set. There are basically two ways to record ADR. You could use the loop record setting, which makes the computer loop the selection and record a new take each time it passes through, making a new playlist for each take by clicking on loop record. Now what happens is I would highlight the area that I want to loop, and when I go into record, it's going to keep looping that, and the actor would do it over and over again until we think we've got it, and then we pick the one we like the best. So let's watch that happen.
Good afternoon and welcome to the studio. Good afternoon and welcome to the studio. Good afternoon and welcome to the studio.
So, we just did 3 takes of that line in succession. And if you look here at your playlist pop-up menu, you'll see that there are your 3 takes. This one is the last one we did. There's our first one. There's our second one. And there's our third one. Now, had the actor actually been here, she would have recorded something. Let's undo that. And the other way to do ADR is to just do one line at a time.
Good afternoon and welcome to the studio.
And then you could stop. If you do a second take,
good afternoon and welcome to the studio.
if you work with loop recording turned off, you can still get a pop-up menu of all your takes. By clicking on your selector tool, you can use the tab key to bring the cursor to the beginning of the region. Holding the command key Mac or control key PC and click with the selector tool, and you get a pop-up menu of your different takes. So, now we'll wait for our actor to get here and we'll begin doing our ADR session. While we're waiting for our voice actor to get here, I'm going to rename this track because we did some recording on this track earlier and the take numbers may not start at 1. So I'll just name this ADR Record or ADR REC. And some actors may like to have the production audio in their headphones while they're doing looping, and some actors don't. Today's actor does, so I'm going to bring up a little floating fader here so that I can adjust the level of playback. Okay, our actor is here, and she's behind the mic, and this time, to match the production sound, I'm going to back her off the mic a little bit so she doesn't sound so present. And we'll start off by asking our talent to read the lines a few times, and we'll adjust our levels.
Check, check. Good afternoon and welcome to the studio.
One more time, please.
Good afternoon and welcome to the studio.
That's great. So our levels are all set. Our beeps are in place, and I'm also going to bring down the level of the production audio a little bit. We're going to play back our original production for our actor a few times so that she can get that in her head and get comfortable with it before we go to record this first line.
Good afternoon and welcome to the studio. Good afternoon and welcome to the studio.
Okay, I think she's ready. So stand by. We're getting ready to go into record for our first take.
Good afternoon and welcome to the studio.
That was pretty good. Let's do a couple more for safety.
Good afternoon and welcome to the studio.
Also good, and one more.
Good afternoon and welcome to the studio.
That was excellent. So we're going to go with take 3 for now. We might change our minds later. I'm going to trim the beginnings and ends of those regions. Now we need to loop our second line. So we're going to unmute our beeps for the second line, and I'll mute the beeps for the first line. And I'm going to unmute the production audio for the second line. And we've got a little overlap problem here. We're going to be overlapping when we go into record for our second line. So what we need to do is turn on pre-roll, and I'll show you how to do that right here. We'll zoom in a little bit. The keyboard shortcut to turn pre-roll on and off is Command K Mac or Control K PC. And up here you'll find your pre-roll indicator. We can move that up a little bit. We'll spot our insertion at the beginning of the next line. We'll bring the pre-roll cursor back so that all the beeps will be included in the pre-roll. And we're also going to have to mute our previous take so that it doesn't get in the way of the beeps. We'll also mute our first production line so that doesn't get in the way. And we'll do a little preview here of our second line.
Follow me, we'll go inside.
Okay, I'll play that a few times so she can get comfortable with it.
Follow me, we'll go inside.
One more time.
Follow me, we'll go inside.
Okay, she's ready. Now what we're going to do first is I'm going to put my insertion a little bit before the line so that if she comes in early, it doesn't chop her off. And I believe we're ready to go, and we'll go into record. I believe this will be take 4 for line 2.
Follow me, we'll go inside.
We'll do a few more takes of this one.
Follow me, we'll go inside. Follow me, we'll go inside.
And I think one more.
Follow me, we'll go inside.
Okay, great job. That'll be it now for our ADR session. Stay tuned for our next chapter in producing voiceovers in Pro Tools.